Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy. Can you hear me? Mm. Jeremy, I'm just testing my sound. Can you let me know if you can hear me?
Good morning, ma'am. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks. And you?
I'm good, thanks. Sound is good.
Okay.
You in the process of setting up the framing?
Yeah, no. Obviously, when he sits down, depends how he moves his chair around.
Okay,
Yeah, but
but the
yeah,
sound the sound is perfect.
yeah. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. Sometimes it tends to flip on us.
Okay, we're all good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. Jeremy, are you there?
Oh, yeah.
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
I'm going to leave the meeting and
How much?
and log in again. It seems like my video is not picking up.
All in order.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave the meeting and log in again. Just be
No
on
problem.
standby. Yeah.
Okay.
Someone else doing a call?
Good morning, Advocate. We've got 4 provincial whips present. Still awaiting.
Log out and log in again.
So, Ukula get a sheet. A sheet was a shirt.
Oh, okay.
A shirt that's used to be one. But those shirts were made from what is called German print.
Mm-hmm.
German print is trash.
No.
All those shirts is trash.
Yes. No, I wasn't born yet at the time.
Yeah. You see? Now we are trying to do this.
I was telling someone yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 minutes past.
Okay, so we can start.
Yes. Yeah.
Hello,
Good morning.
is Advocate Pinella there?
Yes,
Chairman.
Chairman. May I proceed with the meeting?
So you're ready?
Recording in progress.
Yes, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Let's start by looking at the agenda, having welcomed everybody. Welcome one and all to the meeting. The agenda is in front of all of us. Any changes or amendments to the agenda? Any changes? No. If that's the case, why don't we get someone to move for adoption of the agenda?
I move, Honorable Chairperson.
Patlet moves. Thank you very much.
BP seconds, Chairperson. BP seconds. Yes.
Seconds, thank you very much, BP. There we are. The agenda is so adopted. Can we then just quickly look at apologies, Advocate Pindela?
So we have the apology of the programming with Honorable Moss.
I just want you to just take us through the apologies. Are there any apologies?
The apology of programming with Honorable Moss.
Programming whip, Moss, yeah. Any other?
I do not carry any other apology.
No other. Thank you very much. We will then move on to item 4. Consideration of minutes of the meeting of the 15th of February 2024. We will do corrections page by page. Any corrections on page 1? Names that are not spelled properly, and so on. Missing names, etc. Any corrections on page 1? None. Then we move to page 2. Corrections on page 2. Acquisition of minutes from the meeting of 9th of November and 12th December 2023. Matters arising. Page 3. Corrections on page 3. Page 4. Consideration of a draft parliamentary program and the report on select committee business and report on legislation before the NCOP. No corrections on page 4. Page 5. Any corrections on page 5? Page 6. Corrections on page 6. Standard bill, Municipal Fiscal Powers Amendment Bill, this Legislative Amendment Bill, Public Administration Management Amendment Bill, Public Service Amendment Bill, Children's Amendment Bill, Revenue Laws Amendment Bill. Any corrections on this page? 6. No corrections on page 6. Page 7. The NCOP will do its best to process those bills it can. Report noted, 9 closure, meeting adjourned at 9 hours, 8 minutes. Okay, no corrections. That being the case, can we have the mover for adoption of these minutes as a true record of what transpired at this meeting?
I move, Chairperson.
Dango moves. Thank you very much, Honorable Dango. Any seconder?
Second. Because the seconds.
Ngozi seconds. Thank you very much. The minutes are so adopted. We'll now move on then to look at matters arising. The matters arising are briefly reflected in the implementation schedule. Arvind Pindela, please take us through.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning, honorable members and colleagues. On the 15th of February, we had a joint sitting. The reply by the President to the State of the Nation address, and then on the 16th of February, we had a joint workshop with the National Assembly on offboarding of members of the National Assembly and permanent delegates to the National Council of Provinces. The 27th of February, we had a sitting to consider those bills referred to in the implementation.
Please proceed with Pindela.
Then on the 6th of March, we had a sitting to consider several committee reports as well as to debate the provincial week report. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. There we are. We've been taken through the implementation schedule. It's green, which indicates that the tasks have been identified and have been dealt with. Is there anybody who wants to make a comment on that? On the implementation schedule or matters arise? No comment. Thank you very much. We'll now move on to item 6, consideration of the draft parliamentary program. I'm told Moss is not in the meeting. Albert Pindela.
Thank you very much, Chair. I will just start on page 6 with the State of Provinces addresses, as well as the budget days for the provinces. I'm not going to go through those. I will then take the meeting to the week of the 4th to the 8th of March. We have the programming committee today. We'll have party caucuses. We'll also have a committees meeting. And on the 8th, we'll have joint committees, if any. Then we'll have committees on the other side of the program, and in particular, the Select Committee on Education and Technology hearing on Basic Education Laws Amendment Bill. Proceed to the week of the 11th to the 15th of March. On the 12th, we will have questions to the Deputy President, as well as meeting of committees. And in particular, we'll have the Select Committee on Trade and Industry to deal with the final mandates of National Small Enterprise Amendment Bill, the Select Committee on Finance to deal with the Public Procurement Bill, as well as the Select Committee on Cooperative Governance to consider and adopt the proposed amendments to the Housing Consumer Protection Bill. We will also have the Select Committee on Health and Social Services to deal with the National Council on Gender-Based Violence Bill, as well as the Select Committee on Reform to deal with the Deeds Registries Amendment Bill. We will then proceed to the 13th of March. We will have a sitting on that day to consider in particular the report of the Select Committee on Finance, on the fiscal framework and revenue proposals. We will also have the meetings of the committees referred to on the column dealing with the committees. Those committees will deal with bills that we have already reported on, but in particular we'll have a Select Committee on Appropriations to deal with the public hearings on Division of Revenue Bill and Second Adjustment Appropriation Bill. We will then proceed to the 14th of March. We will have just one committee meeting, the Joint Standing Committee on Defense. Then we proceed to the 15th of March. We will have the Parliamentary Group on International Relations meeting, as well as committees on the column dealing with the committees. Those committees will be considering the bills that we have already reported on. Then on the 19th of March, we will have a sitting to consider several reports, as well as in particular the National Council on Gender-Based Violence Bill, as well as the Expropriation Bill. Those bills are provisionally scheduled in the event that the committees finalize them. Then we'll have the committee meetings to continue with the bills that we have already reported on. Then on the 20th of March, we'll have the Joint Rules Committee meeting, which has been provisionally scheduled for that day. We will then have the committees on the other part, consultation with Financial and Fiscal Commission on the 2024 Division of Revenue Bill, Second Adjustment Appropriation Bill, and Gold and Foreign Exchange Amendment Bill. That would be the Select Committee on Appropriations. We will have the Select Committee on Education to deal with the Basic Education Laws Amendment Bill, as well as other committees to deal with their own reports. Then on the 21st of March, we'll have the Human Rights Day. We will then proceed to the week commencing 25th to the 29th of March. On the 26th of March, we will have the Member Support Forum meeting. Then in the afternoon, we'll have a sitting to consider several matters, including the bills that have been scheduled provisionally, the National Small Enterprise Amendment Bill, the IP Amendment Bill, the National Youth Development Agency Amendment Bill, the Companies Amendment Bill, as well as the Housing Consumer Protection Bill. We will then have committees on the other side to deal with the bills that the committees are busy with. We will then proceed to the 27th of March, the provincial whips meeting scheduled on that day, as well as committees to continue to finalize the bills that they are busy with. But in particular, we will have the meeting of the Select Committee on Appropriations, consultation with the Organized Local Government and PBO on 2024 Division of Revenue Bill, as well as the Second Adjustment Appropriation Bill and the Gold and Foreign Exchange Amendment Bill. We will then proceed to the 28th of March with the Programming Committee on that day, as well as the Joint Standing Committee on Defense. That will take us to the 29th of March, and with the constituency period commencing on the 2nd to the 15th of April 2024. Chair, we also do have a draft second term program. I am not sure whether, with your permission, I should proceed to that part of it.
Please proceed. Please proceed.
Thank you very much, Chair. The program itself, it's a framework with the week commencing the 15th to the 19th of April scheduled for committees. Then we will proceed to the week of the 22nd to the 26th of April. We will also probably have committees scheduled for those days, the 23rd and the 24th of April. We will then, on the 25th of April, have a sitting to consider committee reports that would have been finalized. We will have also motions, but we will in particular consider upstream petroleum resources development bill scheduled provisionally in the event that the committee finalizes that bill, as well as the climate change bill. We will then proceed to the week of the 29th to the 3rd of May. On the 30th of April, we will have the provincial whip meeting, as well as a sitting on that day. Motions, consideration of several committee reports if finalized, then consideration of the two bills, the Basic Education Laws Amendment Bill, as well as Marine Pollution Amendment Bill. Then on the 1st, we'll have the Workers' Day. The second proposal is to have a program committee meeting. We will then proceed to the week of the 6th to the 10th of May. On the 7th of May, we will have a sitting to deal with motions, if any, to deal with the committee reports, if any, as well as to consider provisionally scheduled Municipal Authority Demarcation Bill, Transport Appeal Tribunal Amendment Bill, as well as the Railway Safety Bill. Then the 8th of May, we may have committees. On the 9th of May, we will have questions to the Deputy President. We will then proceed to the week of the 13th to the 17th of May. Provincial week's meeting scheduled on the 15th of May, and a proposed sitting to deal with any matters that committees would have finalized, in particular legislation before the committees. We'll then proceed to the week of the 20th to the 21st of May. On the 21st of May, we may have a sitting. If any bills have been finalized, we will consider those bills. Then we will have the farewell speeches that will then take us to the end of the second term program, taking into consideration that that would be about 8 days towards the elections. The National Council of Provinces will, however, continue to operate until immediately before the first sitting of the provincial legislatures. Then we will proceed to inaugurate the 7 National Council of Provinces after the elections. Thank you very much. That takes us to the end of the.
No, thank you very much, Advocate Pindela. Let's start with the draft first term parliamentary program. Any comments?
Chairperson, if there is no other comments, I just want to remind the program committee that from the 22nd to the 27th, we will be having the IPU in Geneva, Switzerland. We put in the footnote such international engagement. So I just thought to remind us to put it there in the footnote, but also the CSW in New York. It was one of the meetings that we usually attended, the Commission on the Status of Women. And it is some of the meetings that usually appear in the footnote. I just want us to carry on with that tradition. Good morning to everyone, and thank you, Chairperson.
No, thank you very much. I'm sure that goes a long way just to clarify some of the work that will have to be done. Of course, one is very much conscious of the fact that this is also a period that will be characterized by elections work across political parties. But some of the international commitments will still have to be honored, especially given the fact that we serve in certain executive responsibilities. So that kind of work will have to go ahead, but must be contextualized, as I was trying to state. Any other comment?
I have my hand up, Chair.
I see there. Honorable Labuschagne.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Chair. Chair, I've raised my concerns about the framework of the second term in the WIPS meetings yesterday. It's very clear that the governing party is not considering any other opinions about this framework. I hear that it's not a new thing. It's in the Constitution that the NCOP is the only legislator in the country that continues until elections. We only dissolve as a member when the provincial parliament commence their or have their first sitting. It's always been like that since the NCOP was established. It's incredible that the secretary and the whippery now discovers it for the first time, because it's the first time, and I'm in the NCOP for 10 years. It's the first time that this is being used as an excuse or a mandate to have a program up till 8 days before the elections. But this is how I got to know the NCOP. They find something, they want to do something, then they find a rule that they can bend to use that. So this is a given. I understand that. What I cannot accept is the fact that the NCOP, in putting this program forward, making the assumption that all these 76 bills that is listed to be dealt with after the National Assembly rises on the 28th of March will not be amended. Because if we do that, if we deal with the bills and we do that and they are being amended, they have to go back to the NA. So, yeah, they will most probably have then to stop in the NCOP and then be revived in the NA with a totally new Parliament. There are so many things in this process that I can raise here, but yeah, this is just very interesting that we could, in this past 5 years, had lengthy constituency periods when it suited the ANC. When they had the Congress, when there was the local government elections in 2021, we had nearly a 2-month constituency period. When we had that, I raised the issue of legislation that's piling up that we will have to deal with at one other stage. I was ignored. So, Chair, I raised this here. I will not leave it here. And I also want to just raise the concern that some of the provinces are at this stage already dealing with 9 to 13 Section 76 bills. They struggle to work through that process of public participation. We are still piling up. And some of the provinces also rises, not only on the 21st of May. So this framework is a pie in the sky. Thank you.
Okay. The question of the bills, I think, should be also be discussed when we look at the report on legislation. There's an opportunity there just to reflect a bit on the issues, and let's see how far we go. Otherwise, the other comments, I'm sure, are open for consideration by participants at this meeting. Honorable Dango.
Chairperson.
Yes. Let's start with Dango.
Chairperson,
Lucas.
You've guided me to say to discuss the matters under legislation and not.
Sorry, just a minute, a second, Dango. So it's Dango, Lucas. I see Mohai wants to comment, and then there's Ngosi as a fifth person. So, Dango, please proceed.
Chairperson, I note that this is a framework document, and a framework document actually means a framework document. And I think if I read the responsibility of elected legislatures, their primary responsibility is to pass laws and pass bills. I am not too sure if it is to fight elections. So our primary responsibility we should stick to, and fighting elections is important as well. If people are competing for third or second place, and that becomes a very, very important consideration as to how they fight elections. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dango. Lucas?
Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Honorable Dango, coming from you, it's rich.
I really want Honorable Abskachne also to respect us when we are speaking, because we respect her when she's speaking.
I don't get the respect.
And I am the one person that didn't want to be undermined, because I try my utmost not to undermine other people. Chairperson, I think I wanted to say the very same thing with regards to the issue that this is generally a framework, and that in terms of the framework, it depends on our planning and how we are going to work. And I think if we are doing anything that is contrary to our mandate, then it should be said. But whilst it was confirmed by Honorable Abskachne that the program of the NCOP is within what the Constitution is actually determined our mandate is, I don't know why we are fighting. When we don't get our things right in one meeting, we come to the broader meeting and still keep us for a long time just to electioneer. We don't have time for electioneering. I think we need to sit down and discuss the issues and how we are going to get to that point eventually. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mohai.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. For the record, the National Assembly will be going on constituency period, and it is not rising. It will not dissolve this term until the term expires on the 21st of May. The National Assembly has made a commitment to look into any amendment that may come from the NCOP. It is incorrect for Honorable Labuskachen to mislead this meeting, to create an impression that the NCOP will be a rubber stamp. If there's any amendment to any piece of legislation, the NCOP must do its work irrespective of whatever. If we have to make a determination that the legislation must be deferred to the 7th administration of Parliament, the NCOP will do that. So it's incorrect here to come and clamor here because it's a programming meeting and we project others as not listening and to threaten us that you'll go and talk about these matters. Let Honorable Labuskachen, in an irrational manner, use any other platform and we'll respond to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nkosi.
No, thank you very much, Chair. Greetings to your good self and all members present. I think, Honorable Chair, I'm covered by the speakers spoke before me. But, Chair, I think we must tell
Honorable Nkosi, we're losing you. If you can
that
try and speak
whatever she's
closer to
saying
the
here
mic
is not correct.
and be a bit slower.
When she said yesterday, okay, thanks, Chair. I'm saying, Chair, with regards to what was said by Honorable Labuskachen concerning the ignorance that we ignored her yesterday in our WIPARI meeting. Honorable Labuskachen must know that here we are discussing. There's no way that she can speak whatever that she says and we must take it as is. No, we are discussing here. She must know that. Thank you very much, Chair. We agree with the time frame that is presented before us. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. Honorable Labuskachen, I see your hand is up.
Yes, thank you, sir. Sir, I just want to remind the Chief Whip and Honorable Nkosi and all these people who are telling me what I am allowed to say and what I'm not allowed to say, that I am a member of the NCOP just like any other member, and I am a provincial whip just like any other. I also just want to remind Honorable Nkosi, telling me, discussing, I've never in 5 years heard a lot of whips raising anything except on the program and anything. I am the one who raised these things. The Chief Whip is the one who responds or whatever, and this is how it is. So don't come and tell me about discussions. And up till now, all of you should know that trying to attack me, and sometimes on a very, very personal level, does not faze me. I'm here to represent what is in the Constitution, first of all, and then I'm representing my party. What I'm representing here and what I'm tackling here, it's got nothing to do with politics and electioneering. If I want to electioneer, I can tell you, you can run this program until the 27th of May, and we can just stay away and you can go on and you can do what you want. If that is what I want to do. Now, if I am,
we
I'm
can't be,
electioneering.
Chairperson, please, we can't be really.
Oh, sorry, Honorable Lucas, you are not trying to undermine anyone, but you are always the one that is coming in from the side and using the platform to have a debate from the chair with the people in the house, and you're not undermining anybody. I'm so sorry. I'm so sick and tired of being
Honorable members,
you can be so emotional.
Let's not be personal.
Order, please.
She
can be so emotional as you want to be. Order. Now she's leaving. Now she's leaving after she have ranting. Now she's leaving.
Let us be tolerant of each other's views. I saw Detroit's hand is up. Honorable Detroit.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, really, it seems as if the Honorable Lucas has got a free say every time, everywhere. Please call her to order. She's not chairing this meeting. She's attending it. Please ask her to please not interrupt and be personal with what she is saying.
Thank you very much. Bartlett, I saw your hand was up as well.
Okay, that's fine, Chair. I'm covered.
Oh, covered. Okay. Thank you very much. And was I'm sure it's an old hand.
No, it's not an old hand, Chair.
Oh, okay. Please make your comment.
I think Honorable Detroit must be fair as well. Because when Honorable Labuskachnen is speaking, when people are on the platform, he won't say anything. He must also call Honorable Skacheng into order. Why he must say we must call Honorable Lucas in order, whilst Labuskachnen is doing the very same thing. He must be fair. Thank you.
Yeah. These times call for cool heads, honorable members. Let us all be properly measured, and let's keep everything within context. No exaggeration, no undue type comments. Nyambi?
Thanks. Greetings to yourself. Greetings to yourself and colleagues. Chair, the issue we are discussing.
One of our comrades here is Chief Minister.
Can we have one person speaking at a time? Let's start with Honorable.
Thanks, Chair. The issue we're discussing, we've been together for almost 5 years. And we have chaired the programming chair. There's WIPARI that will process issues, and they will assist programming to arrive at a particular conclusion about issues. And Honorable Mohai has clarified the process moving forward. And this is a framework that we have that will be guiding us. And I don't see anything wrong. And one thing that we have to emphasize is that, of course, we're not going to be just ticking the box or rubber stamp anything. And if ever there will be a legislation that will be coming and want to do some amendments out of all the bills that we'll be dealing with, we'll definitely do that. And if ever we feel that time will be against because there's a process issue, there are some time frames, we're going to defer to the servants administration to deal with it. So as far as the clarification of the issues are concerned, I think Honorable Mohai, the Chief Whip, has clarified and closed the issue, not unless there's anything outside that. But as far as I'm concerned, I think, Chair, we've exhausted the issue and have done justice to it. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Nyambi. That, honorable members, takes us to the end, not unless Lucas insists on speaking, but I see the hand disappear. So thank you very much. I'm sure we can move to the next item. Honorable members, it's election time, and sometimes tempers may blow up and and things may spill over and so on. But let's remain measured so that we can do the work that is in front of us and ensure indeed that overall we mop up on all the things that need to be completed before the end of the term and before the elections. Now we'll move to item 7. A report on select committee business and report on legislation before selected committees. Honorable Nyambi.
Thank you very much once again, Chair. The office has received and approved amendment committee programs as presented before the meeting by Advocate Pindela on behalf of the programming whip. The amendments to the program are necessitated by, among other things, the views of provinces and their ability to process legislation before them. Coming to the issue of budget instruments, Chair, there are 6 budget instruments before the 2 fiscal committees of the council, starting from slide 9 up to 11. The Select Committee on Appropriation has before it the 2024 Division of Revenue, The second is the appropriation bill, which will be finalized during the second term, or if there are some challenges, as we have been discussing, probably might even be deferred to the next parliament. Then the second adjustment appropriation bill, which will be finalized by the next parliament. The gold and foreign exchange contingency reserve account deferral amendment bill proposed, and which will be finalized during the second term or by the next parliament, as we have been very clear in dealing with such issues, Chair. Then the Select Committee on Finance, on the other hand, has before it the Revenue Laws Amendment Bill, which it hopes to finalize on the 26th of March, as correctly stated by Advocate Pindela. The second is the Public Procurement Bill, which also it will be finalized on the 26th of March. Then when it comes to intervention, Chair, starting from slide 26 up to slide 29, the Select Committee on COCTA still has a reduced number of 7 interventions, notices of interventions, progress reports, extension of interventions, withdrawal of interventions in terms of Section 139 and various subsection of the Constitution in various municipalities within 4 provinces. Madam Chair, the first one is the one of the province of KwaZulu-Natal with 4 interventions. The second is the province of Gauteng with 1 intervention. The third is Mpumalanga with 1 intervention. And the last is the Western Cape also with 1 intervention. The finalization date of all these reports has since been shifted to the second term to afford the committee time and space to finalize bills before it. Other matters before committees, Chair and members. We have some remaining 5 matters, which are the first one is with the Select Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs as 3 other matters. The Select Committee on Finance as 1 other matter. The Select Committee on Land Reform, Environment, Mineral Resources and Energy as 1 other matter. And as we are been clearly indicated by Advocate Pindela on behalf of the programming in terms of the final the framework, we concur and we agree with everything, and I so table the report. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Any comment on the report by Honorable Nyambi? I guess what we should really say here is that the good work must continue to happen, but we must also try to, in an ongoing way, engage with the relevant committees in the National Assembly, so that we more or less on the same slate, on the same understanding on how these matters are supposed to be dealt with, especially given the fact that there's very little time left between now and the day of elections. And we need to do the work in such a way that matters are prioritized, and whatever is left, of course, can be dealt with by the 7th Parliament. But just to ensure that we minimize the tension that may build up and manage things properly, that dynamic interaction and engagement will have to be maintained. And I'm sure members will agree with that, especially if we have a very simple metrics that says what bills are going to be dealt with by when, because for efficient and effective planning to really manifest itself, we'll have to start with the election date and then work backwards to where we are now, and in some meaningful way engage matters such that that which can be dealt with between now and elections is dealt with and done, and that which is unavoidable and will have to be dealt with after elections by the civil parliament is also properly identified. Thank you very much. There being no other comment, we'll move on to report on Parliament legislative program. I don't know who was there to lead us this time around.
Good morning, Honorable Chairperson. It's Dr.
Dr.
Mbata.
Mbata, yes, please.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Honorable Chairperson, I'll be reporting today on bills that are currently before the NA and ought to be finalized in March and be transmitted for concurrence. On the NA order paper, we have the Electoral Matters Amendment Bill scheduled for a second reading on the 12th of March, and then it will be transmitted for concurrence. When we go down to section C, I've highlighted these bills in green. In section C, on bills before the NA committees, I have highlighted 10 bills in green. 4 section 76 bills, which are aimed to be finalized by their respective committees in March. In number 3, we've got the Older Persons Bill. Number 5 is the Tobacco Products and Electronic Delivery Systems Bill. Number 6 is the Prevention of Illegal Eviction Amendment Bill. And on 13 is the Electricity Regulation Amendment Bill. I must indicate, Honorable Chairperson, that some of these bills were on the legislative program for 2023 and were under the priority list, which is the Electricity Regulation Amendment Bill. And then when we go down, Honorable Chairperson, there are 6 Section 75 bills also expected to be finalized in March. Let's look at number 14, which is the National Water Resources Infrastructure Bill. And number 15 is the National Nuclear Regulator Amendment Bill. 17 is the SABC Limited Bill. And number 18 is the General Intelligence Laws Amendment Bill. On 19 is the Institute for Drug-Free Sport Amendment Bill. And the last one is the Pension Funds Amendment Bill. Again, the Nuclear Water Resources Infrastructure Bill, the General Intelligence Laws Bill were also on the 2023 legislative list of bills that are supposed to be considered in 2023-2024. And going forward, Honorable Chair, when we go down to the NCOP order paper, which is on E, my apologies, I didn't indicate the bill that I'm going to talk about because it reported late last night on the ATC, which is the National Prosecuting Authority, which the committee recently reported on, and it's on the order paper for consideration. And Honorable Chair, 3 bills were transmitted for concurrence, and they are highlighted in blue under F. So all these bills were transmitted from the NA for concurrence. And lastly, Honorable Chairperson, 8 bills have been passed by Parliament, and all the bills have been sent for assent, and which brings the total number of bills that are with the Presidency for assent to 17. That's all for today. Thank you so much, Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much. Okay, there we are. Any comment? And you can see the list there. Did a very big list. But I'm sure the Chief Whip and the team will grapple with the issues as we move towards the election date. Any comment? No comment. So thank you very much, honorable members. That takes us to the end of the meeting and therefore closure. We wish every member well, and we wish the teams as they work on these matters all the success until we meet again. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah,